Okay. I will have you say and spell your first and last name for me and state, just where you're from. And just remember, this is just a conversation, just like we had off camera. You and I are just talking. Okay. Don't even act like the camera's there.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not here. The camera's not here.
Okay.
The camera's not there. The lights.
So you're going to tell me what do I say? No?
Yeah. So just say and spell your first and last name for me.
My name's Terry Spiker, and it's spelled Terri and Spiker.
Okay. And you're a Kalamazoo resident?
I've been a Kalamazoo resident all my life. I've lived in Kalamazoo, Portage.
Wonderful. Terry, so what I'm going to have you do is just walk me through the events of what was happening that day. The inmates were going to court and that they had returned. I will have you just walk me through what was taking place.
Okay, my son called me from the Kalamazoo County Jail at about 12:30, said he was going to be taken to court, asked if I was going to go, and I didn't go. And so I expected a call. He usually calls me when he gets back, probably between, whatever time. I'm thinking they get back between 3:30, 4:30, because I think their dinner is at 5. And he didn't call. It's getting to be 7 o'clock p.m. And I was like, I didn't call the jail. I was checking VineLink for his name, and it said he was still in custody. So then I let it go, and he finally called today. He goes, Mom, you wouldn't believe what happened. We were in the van at the Kalamazoo County Jail when we got brought back from court, and we were out there for over 2 hours. We were sitting out there, and a guard or whoever came out into the garage. Must have been 5-10 minutes after they were out there. They were pounding on the windows in the van. They didn't hear them or help them. I don't know if they heard them or not, but they acted like they didn't. So then these guys took their, I'm pretty sure they're in one-piece suits. They took them down because they couldn't breathe. They had no ventilation. And there was a man in there, supposedly has seizures. This is why they started taking charge, because of him. And then my son was also freaking out. They had to hold him down and stuff. And there was an inmate in there that I don't know who broke the window, or actually they had to break out from the inside of this. I don't know. I assume they were kicking the windows. They got enough for this inmate to get out. He risked his own life. He had to go through this window with glass. And I asked my son last night when I talked to him, how did that guy get out? And he said he went on the ground on this glass, and landed on it, had to go down on the ground like that. Yeah. And so he must be to get the doors open, but I don't know. And then my son, I don't know who was after who, but my son was the one that went to push the button to get the guards inside the jail to let them know they were out there.
So he found some type of button to get
some button that, I guess so. He must have known some button that's in that garage or whatever. And they just were at it. He told me after 2 hours is when they decided to do it.
Yeah, so I want to go back to talking about, they had just returned from court. They got back to the Kalamazoo County Jail there, and then they were parked inside the garage, one of the vans. And just go through, I guess, what that was like for the inmates, what your son said was going on inside that van when, did they realize that they were trapped, that someone wasn't coming back? What was happening?
They realized that after a while, he told me 5 minutes went by, 10 minutes, half hour, and then it's getting to be, he said 2 hours, but but he said they finally, because I think they were afraid to do anything to get themselves out, that they're going to get in trouble for this, but they had to save their own lives. These guys couldn't breathe. They had heat exhaustion, or I don't know what they had, but my son pushed the button and he started throwing up, and he said all the guards came out. They took him to go get showers, clean clothes. They gave him 2-pack lunches and water because they were all dehydrated. They also, some of them, my son was one of them, had to pee his pants. They peed and had to do the other. Yeah. And they had to sit there like this. They had no other choice.
And, what was running through your son's mind? Did he just not know what was happening, why the guards weren't coming back? What did he say?
I think they realized after there was still a light on in the garage, but he could tell that they had left and forgot all about him. They could tell that they were left there. And their van, there's, I guess, supposedly 4 vans that go down there that are parked in this garage. Theirs was in the back corner. Like they let all the other prisoners out and left them back there.
So it was almost like they had just forgotten they were there.
Yeah. I don't know.
But your son just, he didn't know what was...
He didn't know, but then they had to react to save their own lives. And I mean, and with this guy that was in there with seizures, something was possibly, and I know my son was probably, because he's not good in closed places.
And what was that like for them? You said it was really hot in there.
He said they couldn't breathe, and they knew they had to do something because they knew no one was coming back. Yeah. And they had to get out of there to get someone's attention.
Yeah, because they were overheating.
Yes, and they all took their, to like sardines in there. I can imagine being in there with 6 others. Yeah. 7 guys in there, shackled together. I don't know how they managed to do it.
And so, walk back, because we kind of talked about it a little bit, but someone was able to break out one of the windows in the van. Can you tell Can you tell me about what your son said that one inmate was able to do and make?
He was able to get himself, because he was the smallest guy, for one, to be able to squeeze through this window, but he still got cut up. He still risked it, and then lands on glass that they kicked out. When he came out of the vehicle, my son said he was on the ground, where he landed flat. No, it couldn't have went bad. Where my son told me there was stuff out in the garage, weapons. I don't know what, but it could have turned really bad. What if this guy would have got out? And I mean, my son was probably fearing for his life in that way. I mean, he doesn't know this guy. He just rode to court with him. But so this guy was a hero in my book.
So he was, he fearing for his life.
He was. He didn't know.
Not only the heat
he couldn't breathe, but he didn't know what could have happened. Yeah, he doesn't know what could have happened in there.
Okay, so
I know he was.
The guards someone finally comes to the door, finds out they're in there. Tell me the interaction between the inmates and the guards. And
it was like Jordan acted like 40 of them came out. I don't know if that's how many. I thought that's what he said. I was having trouble hearing. And they brought him water, they got him, and they took him to a place. I don't know where they took him to get these showers. I don't think they took him. I don't know if they took him to jail. I don't know. He didn't say. But by 8 o'clock, so he's been back since probably 4 o'clock. I would give it 4:30 latest coming from court, because they eat at 5.
Yeah. Did the guards apologize?
He never said. I don't know. They were just saying, you guys have a lawsuit.
And you said the sheriff, however, Sheriff Fuller did come back and he did speak with the inmates?
Yes, he spoke with my son. I don't know about the others, and I don't, know any of the others, just what my son told me. And he said he did come and apologize to them and said they were not in trouble for doing what they had to do to get themselves out of this van to save their own lives.
Yeah, quite a scary,
yeah, it is.
Quite the situation.
It's like, this is very bad that something like this happened, because they could have had 7 people dead in that vehicle.
Yeah, and I think we said this off camera. You were shocked that no one realized the inmates were missing.
Yeah, it's like, I heard that they do head checks every half hour. I don't know if that's right. But dinner comes, where's these 7 guys that are supposed to be back from court? And nobody sees them. I'm not only blaming the driver. What's going on, the protocol inside the jail? Because it's not only his fault. He didn't bring them in. I don't know how that works, how this stuff is done. But it got past a lot of people.
So do you think that protocol needs to change, that there needs to be something done?
I don't know what their system, how it goes there. I mean, I know this is a random thing. It's like 1 in a million probably for this to happen. It happened to be my son in there, which really sucks, because it's affected him even more than he's already been affected of things. And so, I don't know. I've never been to jail, so I don't know what it's like in a jail. I've never dealt with that, but just what I'm dealing with here with my son. And they only had 1 guy that hauled 7 guys. They didn't have any more drivers. Oh my.
Let's pause that and
can I? Did you pause that? Oh God, I was like, it's nothing. I'm gonna turn this off. That's a new phone. Candace, will you turn this off for me? I don't know how to do it. I just got that. I'm not sure. I just got that phone yesterday.
Do you remember where we were? I don't.
It was about the protocol for the jail, and sorry.
No,
Maybe you need to tell her that detectives and other people interviewed too.
I did.
Are we good?
Maybe the side thing.
I'm taking pictures now. Hey, you might want to take this one.
Here,
I don't know how
here, let me have it.
Selfies?
Let me have it. I'm gonna turn it off. He's taking pictures.
So 2012.
Let's see. I just got this phone yesterday, so I don't know how it.
Everybody still takes selfies.
Okay, that's like the ringer.
Says the ones that still take selfies.
You?
You.
Like
Actually,
No,
we go
I
put that in the
never
bedroom. Go put this phone in the
I don't-
bedroom.
Did you shut it off? Cause did you?
No, I did.
volume
Just
down?
Candace, just go put it in the bedroom. Just take it in the bedroom. We're not gonna hear it.
Throw it in the other room. Yeah.
We're not gonna hear it.
Okay.
Fucking thing stopped.
Complex
I'm
topics are
sorry.
ideal just by talking.
What the
But
hell?
before we get started,
Here.
take a quick look at this important information.
No, this darn. I just got this stupid.
No, it's okay. Usually it's just on this.
I know it. It's like, where's my? Shut
Usually
up.
it's just on the
It's. I know it, and it's not. See, it's. Maybe it's this one.
Ooh, it's getting toasty in here without that AC.
I know it was 80 in here. Well,
Oh my
Candace,
God.
just go put it in the bedroom, will ya?
Well,
Oh my God! Just go put it in the bedroom. I won't. We won't hear it.
Okay, let's. Are we good now?
I believe you were talking about. We're talking about protocol. That was your son in there.
Yeah, and I had to. I don't know what their protocol is. I don't know how it could be changed. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how it works when they are returned from, the
Yeah.
courthouse to the jail. Who takes them in there? Is it the driver, or is somebody else supposed to come get them?
So you would like to know more?
Yeah,
as a
I'd like to
mother.
know what is the procedure of taking these guys down to court, returning them back to jail. I mean, the driver gets out of the vehicle and these guys are left in there.
Yeah.
So who's there for them? I mean, I don't
And
understand that.
Really today, as you sit here, you just have a lot of unanswered questions. Is that true? 'Cause
Yes.
You kind of know what your son told you, but there's
Yes.
still a lot of unknowns,
Yeah.
circumstances that could have played a role in this too.
Yes, it's to me, it's someone's neglect that they forgot. How can you forget 7 people? If I had a kid in the car, if my son, I left him in the car as a young kid, I'd be going to prison right now. Or if I did something like that,
Yeah.
even if they didn't die.
Are you glad the sheriff made the effort to come out
Yes.
there and say anything?
Yeah, Rick Fuller's a good sheriff. I voted for him. Yes, it's not, I mean, it's faults of a lot of people. I don't blame him. I mean, things happen, but this was very serious. 7 inmates could have died. And my son being one of them, I wouldn't have been very happy. I thought my son was safe in jail, but I'm not sure if he is.
Yeah. And just for my information, your son was in jail, but he hasn't been in jail for like years or anything.
No.
Has he been in and out? Just tell
He
me
has.
that
He's been in and out of that jail. Yes,
Okay.
they know him well. But he was just he's in for 9 days. He was just going to court for that. So.
Okay. And then you said the K-Pep situation. Tell me what was happening and.
With him leaving there.
Yeah.
Okay, he's in drug court and he had to go to KPEP. He left there on Wednesday and left for a while, but they considered him an absconder. He returned and waited for the police to come get him. He knew he would be getting it for violation.
Okay, and that's why he went to
Yes, that's why he was at court.
Okay.
For
And then
that.
he is getting out of jail on Friday.
Yes,
Is that true?
he will be out Friday and back to KPEP.
Okay, I'm good. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can look at her when you answer this, but is there anything you would like to, I guess, say directly? If you were to, talk, to whoever forgot them in there.
The guards. Or
Yeah,
whoever forgot
it's
them.
like I would like to know what I guess who is held responsible for this happening.
I'm sorry. Would you mind saying that one more time?
I would just like to know who is responsible for this mishap, this very bad situation happening at the Kalamazoo County Jail. I mean, I can understand maybe one missing inmate, but 7 of them? How do you miss 7 people and nobody knows it? The person that brought them back inside the jail, they've got to get receiving these guys. Nobody knows they're gone. I mean, and it could have really got bad because my son said there's weapons. What if they decided to do something bad, but they didn't? They were fighting for their lives, you know, and they weren't even thinking anything like that. They were trying to get out to live.
Yeah.
Thank you.